Standing in the lobby of the brand new Arts and Heritage Center, which will open on June 10th, a free day. Everybody mark your calendars. 8:45 in the morning, ribbon cutting, and then a full day of free event. So what I'm going to show you today is a little sneak peek of the whole building. We're going to walk through, and we'll start this direction. So here is our lobby. It's called the Creative Commons, and it's a place for the public, everybody, anybody, come hang out. Bring your kids to dance class, sculpture class. Moms, you can bring your computers, because we have these really cool couches. Look. They have power and phone hookups in them, so you can sit here, you can catch up on your email, you can text people, plug in your phone, charge it up, you're good to go. So, the Creative Commons here. Let's go down this way and I'll show you the event space. Lots of spaces inside the new building, the Arts and Heritage Center, are available for rent, and this is one of those cool spaces. So for any of you that know King Louie from before, when you were at senior prom or whatever and came bowling or ice skating, down here is where the bowling alley used to be, right in this space. It no longer is here, of course. But you can see it's very, very different. Here we are inside our event space. Nice, bright, light. This space is used and can be used for just about anything you can imagine. You could have your wedding here, you could have your wedding reception here, you could have a corporate meeting if you wanted to. Anything you can imagine, this space holds 330 people, and it can be divided into two different rooms. One can hold about 210 people, and down there, there's a big wall that comes across, and we can seat 100 people out there. Outside, we have this really cool garden, and we just got our fence around our patio garden out here. So if you can imagine, you can have your wedding reception in here or your corporate party, and if the day is nice, you can have a buffet out here, go sit in the grass. We'll have some really cool chairs and umbrellas and stuff out there. So you can rent the space and you can use the patio as well. It's a pretty cool space.
You said this room divides in two?
It does. So it also has complete audio and visual capabilities. So it has microphones, it has projectors. You can bring your laptops, you can hook in, you can project on these screens. You have three big screens here. And then this big giant wall here closes in the middle, and it creates a smaller space over here that'll seat about 100 people. 109 to be exact. If you have a group of 109, we got a place for you.
So 109 on this side, how many on this side?
About 200.
About 200. Perfect for weddings or any kind of event, really.
Any event, totally.
Business meetings, anything you want.
You bet.
Where to next?
We're going to go over here. We'll walk across the hall a little bit. Just kind of give you a peek. This is a, do not push this bar, the alarm goes off. This is the catering entrance that goes out behind the building and around to the dock. So if you have a catered event, it's very easy for the caterers to get the food in, because right here across the hall is a nice big finishing kitchen, catering kitchen, where caterers can come in, bring their big hot boxes, their ice box, get all the food set up for us for any event that you have. Nice big space.
All kinds of racks for goodies.
Goodies. Yeah. So let's see. We'll walk down this way. We got some extra storage stuff over here. This is where we store furniture for the event space going on. And we're going to walk around the corner here and we'll go in the theater. This is, of course, my favorite part because I'm Theater in the Park. This is the new Black Box Theater, and it has the capability of seating 330 people. They're really cool. Oh, let me tell you something first. Some of you might recognize this pattern, but you may not recognize it right off the bat. There's some patterns, graphic patterns throughout the building that harken back to what happened in the building before. So you might notice that these lines look familiar to all you bowlers. It's the lines and the arrows that used to go down the bowling alleys.
It goes all the way up onto the ceiling, too.
All the way up. It's a little bit vertigo if you run fast through it. Don't run.
Okay, into the Black Box Theater.
Into the Black Box. So, if you haven't heard, Grease is the first production that's going to be in this space, and we open Grease on June 9th, the night before the free day, big grand open ribbon cutting. So, here's the Grease set is being built. It's just got a first coat of paint on it right now, so
wow,
it's cool.
So what are we walking on here?
These are just little platforms.
Okay.
Platforms, and when we get done, this will have a proscenium arch around it, like a big theater does.
Okay.
And these will be backstage spaces. And our orchestra, which is a 7-piece musical combo, will be up here in the center of the stage. Piano, bass, drums, 2 saxophones, and 2 guitars. And then this is the playing space out here. The space here, inside this space, is 60 foot by 60 foot. And for Greece, we'll be able to seat 247 people.
Wow.
It doesn't look like that right now, but we have risers and I think very, very comfortable chairs, which is really great. The best part about this space is that it's completely flexible. This time, when we're doing Greece, we've chosen to put the set on this side of the room, and we'll have 3 sections of seating all around this stage. But if we wanted to do the play, say, in the round, then we could. We'd build the stage right in the center of the room, and the chairs could surround the entire theater. One of the exciting parts about this theater, too, is if we look up, you'll see that the entire ceiling is covered in a wire fence, which is actually called a tension grid. So technicians, for the show and before the show, can walk on that grid above the theater. All of our lighting and all of our sound equipment lives up there, so it makes it extraordinarily easy for lighting technicians to focus light.
Noisy if they're walking around up there?
No, they have to move like mice.
Okay.
Quiet. So, this is the black box. Very exciting, very cool. We'll go out this way. I'll show you a little bit of backstage stuff. Actually, if you're just joining us, we're at the Arts and Heritage Center that's going to open on June 10th, and we're looking above the stage.
And who are we talking to? Who
We're
are you,
talking to
sir?
Tim Bair, the producing artistic director of Theater in the Park.
Wonderful.
And we are the new resident company, the theater company here in the Arts and Heritage Center. And we're up above the stage now on the tension grid, and you can see all of the lighting equipment up here, all the sound equipment, and you can look back down through the floor, and you can see where we just were, down there. And look, we have some actors and actresses here for Grease rehearsal tonight. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
We're Facebook Living.
Oh, okay.
How hip are we?
So hip.
So
this is pretty cool. You were talking about during the show, you know, technicians would have to be up here to maybe adjust lights or sound or something like
Right.
that. This whole floor is like a wire mesh.
And it's a little bit bouncy.
So I don't know if you guys can hear that.
See?
The point is, you can't hear it.
No, you can't. And it can hold up to 75,000 pounds.
Wow.
So, that's pretty good.
That's a ton, which
a lot.
that's a lot of lighting,
Totally.
a lot of gear. Cool,
So this
very
allows for us to have complete flexibility. You'll see that the instruments and the pipes for all the lights and stuff are really, truly every single place in this space.
Right.
So we can put lighting equipment anywhere and light the stage wherever we decide the stage is going to be for a particular performance or production.
cool. So if you're doing a show in the round, or if the stage wants to be on the exact opposite side of the room, not a problem at all.
Not a problem. Easy.
Very cool.
Hey,
Where
let's
to
go down
next?
and look at some dressing rooms.
Sounds good.
How about that? On the Anybody that's been backstage in the theater knows about green rooms, I think. This is the green room.
Actually green.
It is actually
One of the very few green rooms that's actually green.
This would be a great green screen room, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
On a green screen. So this is where the actors hang out, like during intermission before the show. They can bring their dinner before the show happens. Half hour generally, you know, people come hang out,
Sure.
whatever. And then we have 2 dressing rooms here in the center.
You're good.
Good. Here we are in the dressing rooms at the Arts and Heritage Center, which is going to open June 10th with our first production of Grease. And here we have just some racks of costumes we're putting together for Grease, getting altered. We have 2 dressing rooms in the new center. Each dressing room can hold 10 people, so we can have a cast of 20 here. It's really cool.
Wow.
Each dressing room have its own bathroom, mirrors, lights, everything.
Hold on yards.
Cool.
So going back into the green room, you said there's 2 dressing rooms, and they're both connected.
There's a dressing room down there and a dressing room here, A and B.
So during a show, if you're waiting for a cue or something like that, this would be where
This
you
is
would
it.
hang.
And you might notice too, there's some nice video monitors up here on the walls, so the cameras that live in the theater that the stage manager uses to call the show and see the show and call the cues. Whatever's happening live on stage can be piped back here into the green room and the dressing rooms too.
Wow.
So all the actors can see what's going on.
Very cool.
No missing of cues.
Excellent, excellent. We like that.
A little bit of sound equipment moved in while we were in the way. This big dark hole, it'll light up just a second. There we go. This is our workshop. So this will be fully outfitted. We're right in the middle of building scenery for Grease that you just saw. And every show that we do here, we'll build the scenery here. The theater is also rentable, and Theater in the Park won't produce there every single week, so we're hoping that lots of arts groups around town, dance troupes, theater groups, whatever, will be able to rent the space too, and they can even rent the workshop and build their scenery
Wow.
as well.
Looks like extra chair storage.
Yeah, we got extra chair storage. Most of those are going to go in the theater for grease, but they're just kind of standing by right now.
What is the purpose of this big old door back here?
This is the dock, so when we get material loaded in, that dock, of course, can open and we can load in all the building material and stuff
Very handy.
in here for the workshop.
Good sized room. How big would you say this room is?
Say about 750 or 1,000 square feet.
And double doors right next to the theater, so you can just.
Double doors right across, so you can build scenery and move it straight across the hall.
Great.
So we'll go in here. This is one of our 2 rehearsal halls. So not only do we get to perform here, but now Theater in the Park can also rehearse shows in this building as well, which is really cool. And coming up June 2nd, our first Theater in the Park performance this year is Spam-A-Lot, and that's what you see here, all the props standing by for Spam-A-Lot.
Explains the shields and the swords
Yeah,
and
exactly.
maybe not the big teddy bears. But
Yeah. We have 3 shows rehearsing right now in the building. Grease is rehearsing, Spam-A-Lot is rehearsing, and our second show, Crazy for You, is rehearsing too. Somebody looked at me the other day and said, it's Showmageddon inside the Arts and Heritage Center. And it is. So we have another rehearsal studio just like this, and there's another big video monitor screen. So if someone wanted to rent the theater for a corporate event, say, or some big meeting, and they had overflow and then we didn't have enough room, 330 people can sit in there, 330, then you can put the overflow in here, and you can pipe in the live action from the stage.
And traditional mirror, so you could use it as a dance studio, but it looks like also a curtain, so you can cover that right up.
Correct.
If you don't need.
Correct.
Great.
Yeah, it's cool. Let's go on outside.
Thank you.
And there's number 2 studio, but we need to see that. It's exactly the same.
Exactly the same. And again, just for orientation's sake, we're directly across the hall from the theater too.
Exactly.
So everything walks right
Some
in.
more bowling ball graphics. You can see bowling alley. And we've just come full circle. We're down here at the very end of the Creative Commons, the public space here.
What are all these stairs here for, Tim?
Well, they are for hanging out, really. On our free day event, Molly Postlewaite, which is one of the best storytellers in the whole world, works for JCPRD, and she's going to come and tell stories, so we're going to set a bunch of kids on the steps there.
Wow.
It's a place to hang out. Kids could do their homework after school, waiting for dance class.
Sure.
It's really just a real public, open, creative space that you can come and hang out.
And it looks like a pretty adaptable space too. You know,
Completely.
we could do all kinds of events out here too.
Yep. You can move the furniture if we needed to, do different arrangements, all kinds of stuff. Here's one of my favorite things in the Creative Commons is this gigantic big farm table, which, if you will notice, is actually made of old bowling alley wood.
Oh, very cool.
That's really cool.
Very cool.
Unfortunately, it's not bowling alley wood from King Louis. That was gone.
Sure.
But it truly is old bowling alley wood.
And the most important thing that we all look for in a conference table,
Absolutely.
power outlets.
Power.
That's very cool.
Totally.
Hey, what's this bright thing at the end of the table I'm seeing here?
Let's see.
All the way down here.
Look at that. How many people recognize Whitehaven Motor Lodge sign from 82nd and Metcalf?
It's gorgeous.
Really cool, isn't it?
All lit up and everything.
They've completely built new neon for the entire sign. There's still one little piece down there, TV air conditioning vacancy. They're building new neon for it, but they've been installing it, and they just have gotten it to a point where it can light up in the last few weeks.
Wow, it's beautiful.
So that's really cool. We can't go down to the museum, but what you're looking through is these big walls of glass, and what used to be downstairs, for all of you that do know King Louis, was the ice skating rink, the ice chalet.
So this is where the old observation deck used to be,
Exactly.
essentially.
Right.
Okay.
Totally.
So we've got our lobby, observation deck.
And then the entire museum is downstairs with a brand new exhibit and a Kidscape exhibit. If you know about Kidscape, 3 communities, kid-sized communities that kids can play in, farm, urban, and suburban. It's great. There's a market with fruit, there's a theater, there's a hospital, there's a diner.
Wow.
It's a really, really cool place.
And I can't quite make it out, but I think I see the roof of the electric house over
Yes,
there.
and I'll show you. We'll see it later.
We'll walk around, okay.
Around this way.
Okay.
So in this space, is the Overland Park Historical Society is going to have an exhibit there, and they're currently installing that exhibit. Still have a few more weeks left before we open.
So they've got their whole own studio here.
They do. They do.
Whole room.
Exactly. Then we're walking down the side here. This is our creative classroom. This is our arts classroom. JCPRD, who Theater in the Park is a part of course, Johnson County Park and Recreation District, does lots of fine arts programming, fine and performing arts. And so this is our art classroom. We'll offer classes for all ages, from toddler up to, doesn't matter.
Is it open? Can
No
we go in?
age. Yeah, let's go in.
Check it out here.
So we'll have
Wow.
sketching classes.
Space.
It's very short. Right after school's out, right after Labor Day.
Right.
We have arts classes happening. We have fashionista camp happening. Lots of stuff. So everything you want, that arts class is right here.
Creative space for sure.
Creative. Johnson County Developmental Supports has a program called the Emerging Artist Program. We can't get into this space right now, but it's for folks that have disabilities, and they do art projects in here.
And we're back.
There we are.
Emerging artist classroom. Okay.
Emerging Artist Classroom. It's really cool. They sell these, they make lots and lots of stuff, but one of my favorite things they do is they make original art into greeting cards. It is the original art that the artist made. They're $3 a card.
Very cool.
I know where to buy my cards now. Every day, every time.
And then end of the hall.
And the end of the hall here, if you're just joining us, we're at the Arts and Heritage Center down on Metcalf, which is going to open on June 10th. And now we're in my favorite room of all.
Wow.
The dance studio.
Could see why. Man, look at these windows. Gorgeous.
If you know King Louis, this is where the billiards parlor was.
Okay.
Pool and billiards down here. And you can see the architects from SFS Architecture chose to save some of the stone walls, some of the original building, the architecture there, which makes it really cool.
I dig the ceiling too. It's all
Isn't it
sloped
cool?
and.
It's cool.
Well, and I noticed this floor feels really soft.
Yeah, sprung floor. This is not straight on the concrete. There's wood underneath it, and it's sprung so that when you're dancing on it, it's not killing your knees and your hips.
Great.
It's really terrific.
Big, huge mirror.
Yeah.
Ballet bars.
And we've been able to use this space for our rehearsals for Crazy for You and for Spamalot too.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's been a great.
Is this a rentable space as well too?
It absolutely is a rentable space.
Right.
Just about anything. My dad used to say, anything's for sale. Well, anything here is just about for rent.
Wow.
From the 1950s, KCP&L made the first all-electric, the coolest house ever.
Cool.
Really cool.
Can't wait to see the whole museum. I mean, this is a huge space down here. This is the entire old.
And down at the very end of the building, you'll see some windows down there. That's where our administrative offices are. Theater and the Park offices, fine and performing art offices, our museum as well have their offices there. Beneath our offices is the Kidscape exhibit and a touring exhibit too. So a changing exhibit which can change every 3 to 6 months
Wow.
or whenever they want it to.
Very
So
cool.
it's cool. You can come see the museum and always come back and see something different
Sure.
as well. And they have great new plans. You can buy a family pass and come as much as you want. There's my office. And
June 10th.
Ribbon cutting at 8:45 in the morning, and then beginning at 9 until 5 p.m. It's a free day of activities all day long. We'll have drop-in art classes, drop-in dance classes, lots of cookies,
Wonderful.
music, lots of entertainment all day long.
You're